This is a podcast where kitchen confidence meets better health. I'm your host, Ann Bernardin. I'm a nutrition educator, a diabetes coach, a speaker, and I'm a lifelong home cook. I live with type 1 diabetes, and I've spent years helping people, especially women, feel more in control of their well-being through food, self-care, and planning. So this podcast is your down-to-earth guide to real health through real food. It promotes, and I promote, practical, doable, and made for everyday life subjects. So whether you're managing diabetes or just looking to eat more intentionally, more nutritionally, I'm here to help. I want you to feel empowered and not overwhelmed by making changes to live a little bit healthier. So today's episode is about cilantro. And if you've followed or listened to some other podcasts since the beginning of the year, I'm all about nutrition and all about the foods. And now we're in a little bit of the herb scenario. So, cilantro. They have bright green, feathery leaves, and people either absolutely love it or they can't stand it. And we are diving into what makes cilantro, potato, pecan, whatever way you say it. Cilantro, what makes it a nutritional powerhouse? We're going to learn how to store it, perhaps how to grow it, and why it tastes like soap to so many folks. So if you've ever wondered whether cilantro deserves a spot in your kitchen or your garden, this episode is for you. Now, we often think of herbs as the flavor boosters to our meals, and they are, but they also pack a nutritional punch in little bitty amounts. Many herbs contain added nutritional benefits. Some of the key benefits that cilantro have are vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting and bone health, vitamin A, which supports our vision, skin, and immune function. And what's interesting is usually we think of vitamin A like carrots, like the orange vegetables, but no. Some green vegetables have a good substantial amount of vitamin A as well. Vitamin C. Yes, we don't just need to eat oranges to get vitamin C. So vitamin C that cilantro provides, it's an antioxidant. It helps us fight inflammation and supports our immune system. That's why we always have orange juice when we have a cold. We look to vitamin C. And just to put it out there, cauliflower has a lot of vitamin C as well. You wouldn't think that, but if you're watching your blood sugar, you may want to switch an orange for a cauliflower to get that vitamin C. Yeah, I know, it probably doesn't taste quite the same, but it does give that nutritional punch. Now back to cilantro. It has antioxidants and phytochemicals. It contains those compounds that may help reduce blood sugar and does support heart health. So let's start. Again, that truth bomb. It's more than a garnish. So reduces inflammation in the body, can support health and metabolic health, has trace minerals and vitamins to support your immune system. Now let's be frank here. All the macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, fat, they are not full of those trace minerals and vitamins that we really need in small amounts. They are a micronutrient, and that's why we need to eat a variety of our vegetables, our colorful vegetables, because we need those, I'll call it the supporting actors in a play. They may not have a line, but they are in the background, and they are just as important as the main character. So let's talk diabetes for a minute. Inflammation is a major concern when you are living, it can lead to prediabetes, then to diabetes. And then chronic high blood sugar can lead to what's called oxidative stress in the body, which damages cells over time. And herbs like cilantro, I have a podcast on basil, herbs can help quiet. It's like a silent ally. It's here to help counteract some of that stress naturally. So let's remember, cilantro is not just for tacos and guacamole. It's been shown, again, to help lower blood sugar levels by supporting insulin function. It has chelating properties. Well, what's that? It means that it helps your body get rid of heavy metals. And while we're still learning about this, it's another reason to appreciate this humble herb. And then again, it provides that vitamin K, which supports healthy blood clotting and bone strength. So what's more, the cilantro has been studied to show that it does reduce blood sugar naturally in both animal and human models. Now, did you know that the seed of cilantro is known as coriander, and that is a powerful digestive aid? Best of all, it's low carb, it's low calorie, and it's flavorful, making it a great addition and tool for healthy meals to have them taste a little bit different, vibrant, so you don't have to rely on salt, sugar, or fat. Now, what is it about those folks that hate cilantro? Maybe it has that awful soapy taste. And if you're listening to this podcast, that probably isn't you, because those folks that taste it like soap, they don't want to know more about cilantro. But here's where you can investigate. When you go to work, you ask somebody, hey, when you eat cilantro, do you love it or do you hate it? Does it taste like soap? That's the elephant in the room, or the soap in the salad. So if you hear somebody say that, they are not imagining things. This isn't a picky eater. It's actually genetics. About 4 to 14% of the general population has a variation in a gene. It's ORG6A2 gene, which affects how they perceive aldehydes. Those are natural compounds found in both cilantro and soap. So while some of us taste bright citrus and earthiness, others pick up on the sharp, soapy notes. But the good news, taste buds can adapt. So cooking cilantro or blending it into sauces like chimichurri or pesto can tone down that flavor and make it more palatable to those that have that gene variant. I thought that was really interesting. Now, how do we want to grow our own cilantro? Well, if you've got a windowsill, a patio, or even a sunny kitchen corner, you can grow it. Pretty darn simple. Well drained, loose soil, 4 to 6 hours of sun daily, but it prefers a little bit cooler, so you don't need the bright sun all day. You want it moist, but don't overwater. It doesn't like having its feet soggy, its roots soggy. Now, it does tend to bolt quickly in hot weather. Bolt means it flowers, and once it flowers, it becomes bitter. It's just like lettuce or spinach. To avoid this, we grow it in the spring or fall, and then when it's cooler temps, and then you harvest regularly, and then that will slow down the flowering process. Now, you can also plant new seeds every couple weeks to have a continuous crop growing. Now, once you've grown it or you've purchased it at the store, how are we going to store the stuff so it lasts long? There are 3 methods that are effective. The first is the jar method. We just trim the ends from the store, place them in a jar with water, like a bouquet, and you're loosely going to cover the leaves with, let's say, a vegetable bag from the grocery store, and you put it in the fridge. You might want to change the water every few days. Then there's the paper towel method. You wrap the unwashed cilantro in a damp paper towel, and then you put it in a plastic bag, again, in the fridge. The third method is to actually chop it up when it's fresh. You're going to put it in ice cube trays, put a little bit of olive oil in there, and then you can quickly defrost in a soup or a stew or a quick saute. And that you can use for the future. So my idea is you buy it fresh or you have it. And if you don't use the whole bunch within, let's say, 3 or 4 days, you're going to shake it out and you're going to chop it up so you don't waste. Don't throw it out. Don't wait till it molds or dries up. You're going to chop it up and put it in ice cube trays and go ahead, put a little oil in it and freeze it. Best way to not waste. Now, how about using cilantro? How do we put it in? I mean, I know it's always thrown on as an herb on some Mexican or Spanish dishes, but what else? So yes, salsas, guacamole. That's a staple in Mexican and Latin cuisines. Chutneys. That's common in Indian dishes. So cilantro blends beautifully with lime, ginger, and garlic. Then we have the soups and stews. And you're going to add that just before serving. We don't want to actually cook it through. We want to maintain that freshness. So you're going to chop it, keep it on the side, get ready to serve, throw it on the dish, or place it gently, whatever. Other people use it in a salad. You use it as a green. Chop up the whole bunch with cabbage or lettuce. Make a really nice, fresh dressing, or you can mix it into a slaw. Other people put it in egg dishes. Top scrambled eggs or omelets or a veggie frittata. And then other people are smart enough, when you want all those antioxidants and detoxifying the chelating benefits, you're going to throw cilantro, a big handful and bunch, into your smoothie daily. And then that'll help you get rid of those toxic metals. Now again, if you are not a fan of raw cilantro, you're going to try adding it to your cooking, during cooking, or pairing it with citrus. Again, citrus can mellow out that flavor while it's still giving you that nutritional kick. So here's an action plan for your week. Buy some cilantro. Try it in 2 meals. Let's say a fresh, whether it be a salad, or maybe try it on one of your breakfast egg dishes. Pick one other herb to experiment with as well. And maybe that's basil for a tomato salad or rosemary for a chicken bake. Start trying those herbs because they do help us out nutritionally. And then try making one homemade herb sauce, cilantro lime dressing, or a parsley chimichurri. So 3 things. Buy it fresh, pick up a second one, and then make a homemade herb sauce. Now, this small change, adding it in to support your health, it's small, but it also builds your confidence in your kitchen, which is what the Talking Apron is all about. Remember, flavor builds success. The more delicious your meals are, the more likely you are to stick with your eating plan, avoiding takeout traps. And it helps regulate your blood sugar like a pro. So today we've talked about the herb cilantro, but here are some of the other herb allies. I spoke about basil last week in one of the other podcasts. The holy basil, a very specific type, helps reduce blood glucose levels and cortisol, the stress hormone. Rosemary, we'll be doing that in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for rosemary, but it's known for its antioxidant power, and it may support better health circulation. Then we have oregano, and it supports immune health and helps to regulate insulin. Then we have mint. You always drink mint tea if you have a tummy problem. Yes, mint is great for digestion. It helps soothe the gut, and especially it's helpful if you're dealing with bloating or food sensitivity. Now, parsley is often overlooked, and it is rich in vitamin C and can support kidney function. So here's your kitchen takeaway for today. Don't just stick to 1 or 2 herbs. Create a little weekly rotation, just like you might with veggies or proteins. Variety in herbs means variety in your micronutrients. And that variety supports a healthier gut as well, a more robust immune system, and more stable blood sugars. So as we wrap up, is cilantro a superfood? Maybe not in that trendy, headline-grabbing way, but it is super useful, super easy, and super healthy herb that can help you cook and eat with more flavor and less effort. Whether you're growing it in a pot, blending it into a sauce, or freezing it later, cilantro is a great example of how small changes in your kitchen can lead to better health, especially if you're managing diabetes or trying to cut back on processed ingredients. Now, if you'd like a few recipes using cilantro, you can go ahead and join my Facebook group. It's called Health, Habits, and Hope, and the link is in the podcast description. The days the podcasts go live, a few recipes on the subject are posted to that group for folks to enjoy and use and share their ideas, etc. So I thank you for joining the Talking Apron podcast today. I hope this episode inspired you to get creative with herbs, and I'd love to hear what you've made. Tag me on social media, send a message, follow on Spotify, Apple Podcast, even on YouTube. And I always love to connect. With every episode, the Talking Apron shows you how food can be your first step towards better health. No overwhelm, just doable change. And if you're ready for more support, meal ideas, or even pantry refresh, check out my coaching programs or sign up for the newsletter, and that link can also be found on my website. Until next time, keep it fresh, keep it flavorful, take care of yourself, one delicious bite at a time. This is Ann, signing off.